This is the plaintiff, Ronald Matta. He says he was hired to paint the interior of the defendant's house, and she was happy with his job. She then asked him to do some additional painting for her, which he did, but she hasn't paid him for that work. All he's asking for is an honest day's pay for an honest day's work. And that's why he's suing the defendant here and now for the $625 he's owed. This is the defendant, Tracy Young. She says she hired a contractor who subcontracted with a plaintiff who painted her home. All the dealings she had were with her contractor, and she has no idea what his arrangement was with the plaintiff. In fact, she was quite shocked to get this lawsuit served to her by the courthouse because she does not personally owe the plaintiff a thing. She's accused of flaking out on a painter.
Ronald Matta?
Yes.
You are suing Tracy Young for $625 in painting services that you provided to her that you say that she didn't repay. Tell me what's going on.
Well, I was contacted by the contractor that was doing the work in her home.
Okay.
And he needed a painter right away, and since I was retired, he figured he could get me to do the job. So I went up and looked at the job, and I gave him a price, and we agreed on it.
And what was the job at that time?
Was to paint the walls and ceilings inside her home and most of the house. So as I was doing the job, the contractor told me that she wanted a little extra work done, some woodwork.
I have a question. That job was worth how much?
$2,500.
Okay.
With the contractor.
And did the contractor was paying you that?
Yes.
Okay. And did the contractor separately price for you the paint job or no?
He put it as part of the contract.
So you don't know what was. Okay. Gotcha.
So, as I was doing the job, he said that she wanted some extra work done and she would pay for it.
He told you that?
Yes.
Okay.
And she also asked me to do extra work.
Okay.
She asked me to paint the woodwork in her office, do some staining some rails. And
okay, who decided the price on what that would be?
Well, the contractor gave her a price. I don't know why he gave her a price, but I said, I'll honor that price. And she said she didn't think it was enough. I said, it's not, but I'll honor that. And she gave me an extra.
When did you have a discussion about honoring a price or not honoring a price?
After the job was done.
How long after the job was done?
Probably just a few days.
Did you expect to be paid by the contractor?
No.
So,
no, because he said the extra work I was done was outside the contract that he had with her.
Okay. When you first sought payment, who did you seek it from and when?
From Miss Young after the job was done.
All right. And what did she say to you?
She said she agreed to pay it, but then she said on the advice of her her decorator that they felt that the contractor should pay me.
Who's a decorator? Party pooper. All right, we'll talk to her in a second. All right, now, when you said to her, okay, I need my payment, what did she say?
She said that she didn't think the job was enough. I said, okay. She gave me $100
You mean the price? Well, if you don't think it's enough, pay me more, but pay me.
Yeah, well, she did. She gave me an extra $100.
But she didn't pay you?
No, but she said she'd send me a check.
She said she'd send, hold on a second, we'll get your version in a moment. She said she'd send you a check and she gave you $100. Was it Christmas?
It was close to it, yes.
It was close to it. All right, so she gave you $100. Yes.
And then she gave me a call and said that...
how much later?
Probably a couple of weeks, I'd say. I'm not really sure.
She gave you a call and said?
Yeah, and said that I sent her a bill. She gave me a call and said that she consulted with her decorator and they felt that the contractor should pay me.
Why won't you pay him?
I never said I was going to send him a check. I felt that he told me that he wasn't paid by the contractor the week before, so I felt bad, and that's where me saying, well, why don't I just pay you myself? But then she advised that I don't do that because the contractor is with my contractor.
Okay.
So I didn't.
Well, that depends. The guy did the work, right?
Well, it's not complete.
It isn't complete.
No.
Okay, so the way this works is the defendant is the homeowner, the defendant hires a contractor to do work, the contractor hires this painter. The painter never gets paid by the contractor. Can the painter go after the guy who owns the home?
No, I feel like the subcontractor should go after the person who was contracted to do the original.
But suppose that you can't find the guy. Suppose the guy ends up being a crook. Can you go after the homeowner?
Yes, because they signed a contract, maybe?
Well, they didn't really sign. See, the subcontractor didn't sign it with the homeowner. That was the deal with the contractor. Final word, can the subcontractor sue the homeowner?
Cannot sue the homeowner.
Why?
Because he's not liable for the work that was owed to the contractor.
Okay, fair point. Going inside the courtroom.
How is it not complete?
There's some molding in the dining room that was never put up, and then once it was put up, it wasn't finished being painted. So like part of the molding is painted, and the other part isn't.
How does somebody leave the house that day without finishing painting it? What did they say to you?
I just never saw him again after I ended things with the contractor.
Oh, what happened with the contractor?
He was doing terrible work, and he kept saying that he would fix it, and that he wanted me to be happy, and then he fixed things and they were worse or just not any better. So I didn't want him to start on the next phase of the job, so I told him.
What were you having done to the home?
I had an entryway opened up, so there were some walls removed, and then painting, and then I had a master bath that needs to be done. That's still undone.
My father's my father's 91. My father was a contractor, my brother's a contractor, and there's a saying in construction, cheap, fast, and good, pick two.
Mm-hmm.
So you part ways with that contractor. Was there ever a change order provided by the contractor for this work?
No, he talked about sending me a change order on paper.
Do you have any emails where he emails you that he's sending you a change order?
Yes.
May I see an email where he emails you that he's sending you a change order? Okay, here is an email from the contractor to her talking about the bookshelves and railing being a certain amount of money. See, this is why this is important. Let me explain something for you both know what time of day it is because she has educated you and you're in the business. But you can't sue her unless your contract is with her. That's why you're very busy telling me the contract's with her because otherwise you don't get paid by her. I presume that you have gone to the contractor and he's just like, no way, right?
Oh,
There's a mechanism for this, okay? It's just you haven't employed the mechanism. I presume you have not filed a notice of a lien. You have not gone through the lien statute. All right. You can't just pay him because the contractor might turn around, which is why your decorator, party pooper, told you, just kidding, that's good advice, told you, whoa, there's an issue here. Your contract is with the other guy, so if you end up in litigation with him for whatever money he feels you owe him or whatever else, you're gonna pay twice, and you don't want that to happen. But every state has lien law to protect you, construction lien law, but it's very specific. This is why it's probably happened to you that while you're when he subs it out, when your general contractor subs out painting to him and plumbing to the other guy, you should be getting a notice of potential lien from the subcontractors if they're covering their heinies. That's what they're doing. They have to file the notice of potential lien, and then they have to pursue it if they don't get paid. And they have to go through the lien statute and dot every I and cross every T through the lien statute. You didn't do any of that. You just sued her. And factually speaking, I mean, there's still a way for you to get paid even if the contract was with him and he won't pay you. But you don't have to just sue him if you think that you can't get water out of a rock and the guy doesn't have money. You can sue him. Or you can sue him and you can also go through the lien statute against her. But you can't just go to court and sue her because then she can get sued twice. Do you understand what I'm saying? You know what I'm talking about when I say the lien statute,
yes,
right?
Yes.
You have to first send her notice, you have to follow every single thing that lien statute says, and then you have to close on the lien. And those are a bunch of hurdles. You can't just take the shortcut and file a small claims case against her. So based on that, and I have to tell you that hearing the facts, it kind of sounds like I feel bad for you, but it kind of sounds like the deal really was with the contractor. You could still get her to pay, but you have to go through the lien law. And you didn't. So I'm going to dismiss this case without prejudice for you to be able to file, sending the correct notice through lien law and everything else, and then closing on the lien as opposed to doing it the way you did it. Okay? And then that protects you. And, I'm sure you feel that this work was worth something. Right?
It was worth something.
In fact, you think he does good enough work where you wanted him to do more work. That's why we're here.
Right,
but you don't want to pay twice.
He was being paid along the way.
Right. So maybe what can happen is that he files the lien, and then before it having to get to court, you can go ahead and pay off the lien, assuming he finishes what it is he needs to finish. The little bit that you say that sounds like an hour's worth of work. I don't know. That's not up to me. What is up to me is I cannot give you the relief you're asking for in the way that you have gone about this. All right. That's my verdict. Good luck, folks.
Thank you.
Well, the plaintiff's going to have some work to do as the judge dismisses without prejudice. So what will your next step be?
Well, I just wanted to get paid for what I did, so I'm going to have to probably do what she suggests and put a lien on if I have to. I don't want to do that, but hopefully we can work something out.
All right. And so you still want to go after, would you rather go after her or would you rather go after the contract?
I don't know. I'll try the contractor first.
You know where he is?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, all right. All right. Well, good luck.
All right.
Good luck. All right.
Thank you.
All right. He deserves to be paid for his work, right? All right. You just don't want to do the paying.
No, because I paid the contractor a lot of money for work that was really not well done, including some of Ron's work.
All right. Let's get some details here. Harvey.
You know, this happens to a lot of people, that contractors, first of all, when you hire a contractor, make sure the contractor is licensed and bonded. But secondly, you know, the problem is if you hire a shady contractor and then money doesn't get paid to various people, they can put liens on your house that are really difficult to take off.
Don't text and drive.